So here's all the footage that I collected last night of the drones over Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I know the quality's not the best. I have a phenomenal camera on my phone. This was shot with a Galaxy S23 Ultra, but it was just simply too dark outside to get a good image of these things. I think they were a couple 100 feet off of the ground. I initially noticed two of them outside of the window from my house. They caught your eye right away because of how bright they were, and they seemed to be stationary or moving very, very slowly. And when I went outside, you can see them moving slowly over my house here. They were making noise. They didn't sound like a small drone that you would see, a photographer use, or anyone that has a drone as a hobby, that are more of like a buzzing fan kind of a sound. These sounded more similar to a helicopter, but quiet, like a very, very quiet helicopter. You can tell that they were low because you could make out a faint outline of them. And what I saw appeared to be some sort of like maybe a triangular or a square or like a diamond kind of a shape. Some of the other videos I've seen showing a drone that actually looks like an airplane, I think, are pretty accurate to what these ones were. Basically, some kind of an X shape that resembles generally an airplane. But they definitely weren't flying like an airplane. They were going very slowly and methodically across the sky. Really pretty unmistakable as a drone. When you go outside and look up, maybe they're going to come back tonight. You first see all the lights everywhere and think, okay, yeah, these are a bunch of airplanes. And if you stand there for a couple seconds and look around, it becomes clear pretty soon that not everything you're looking at is an airplane. Some of them were higher than others. Some of them were closer to the ground. Those are the ones that you could hear. Now, I noticed two different types of strange objects in the sky. The majority of them look like the one that you're seeing in the video right now, which I think are the drones. There was also some objects that appeared almost to look like a star. I think some people are calling them orbs, but just a very bright light in the sky that really looks like a star. You'd think you're looking right at a star. Not to be confused with, this is the moon, obviously, in the background here. But the ones that look like a star, so there's one right there at the bottom, right behind that tree. It looks like a star. They actually were moving very, very slowly, which you'll see in one of these upcoming videos. There's another one right there. Now, that's over the town of Chalfont. I believe it could be past Chalfont on the other side, which would be Warrington or Willow Grove, which is where there's an air base there. There's another one in the bottom right corner that looks like a star. Now, they're actually moving. They're not stationary. There's a lot of criticism out there of people with these kind of videos that they're just looking at airplanes. I'm no dummy. They're definitely not airplanes. They're drones. All you need to do is go outside and look, and you'll probably see them. From what I could understand, the people that saw them in New Jersey after the first time they saw them, it has been every night since then. So last night was the 12th. It was a Thursday here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I have a feeling they're going to be back tonight. I will try to get some better footage. I'm going to try to get out a little bit earlier when it's lighter out and see if they're out then. I might even go up on the roof where I have a better vantage point. So the direction that my camera is pointing right now is south. If you could see through those tree lines, you would see Center City, Philadelphia. Where I live is about a half hour, 40 minutes north of Philadelphia. And on a clear night, you can actually see through these treetops some of the skyscrapers in Philadelphia right there where the camera's looking right now. So that drone might be over Philadelphia for all I know. It's really tough to tell. the distance. It looked to me like earlier in the night they were generally traveling in a western direction, like coming from the Atlantic Ocean inland across the country. And I think later in the night, which you'll see in some of my later videos, they were going back the other direction from west to east. I don't want to theorize too much on where these things are coming from or whose they are, because nobody knows, or the people that do know clearly aren't allowed to tell us. But all I can do is share the footage that I got. Now, there was a lot of times where I was watching them and didn't shoot any videos or try to take any pictures because I simply knew that my camera wasn't going to be able to capture it. But these ones that were lower, closer to the lights of the major towns, are a little easier to see. Video really doesn't do it justice. It's very difficult to decipher without seeing it in person. Now, I don't have any sound on my video because there's cars driving by and me breathing and my kids coming in and out and talking, so it's very distracting. I just turn the sound off. You really can't make out the sound from the drones with all that background noise. But even though what might look like an airplane in the video, the ones that I'm following here clearly are not airplanes. I could actually tell from inside of my house when one was getting really close because it almost sounded like a helicopter from inside of the house, but very, very faint. And I'd go outside and look up, and sure enough, there would be one right there. By my best estimation, they're somewhere between maybe 300 or 400 feet above ground, but there were some that were much higher in elevation. I've seen videos from all over the region, people seeing the same thing that we were seeing here in Bucks County. There's a guy in the town next to mine that saw my videos and sent his drone up to try to get close to one of these things. And once he got his drone up in the air, it was a lot brighter because with elevation, the horizon lowers and you catch more of the sunlight still, so you could actually see a lot of these drones off in the distance in his video. And his second or third time sending his drone up, he showed that he got an error message that had something to do with being in proximity of something that's restricted. And he said that he hasn't seen that message in a few years and doesn't know why it would suddenly occur. But there's another video floating around online somewhere of pretty much the same thing, of somebody's drone who wouldn't take off and acted like the battery was dead even though it was fully charged. So this was really freaking me out. You know, I saw the videos coming out of New Jersey of this happening there, and, you know, it's very intriguing, but nothing like seeing it with your own two eyes. So if you're skeptical, if you're denying that these are drones, I would simply say, go outside tonight. I started this first recording, it was around 6:40 or 6:50, and the last one I think was maybe 9 o'clock or so. It was freezing cold outside, so I was shivering. I was really getting mentally overwhelmed with what I was seeing, and I just really couldn't take it anymore by 10 o'clock. But this morning when I woke up, I saw other people's videos and reports that this was going on throughout the night, well after midnight. As far as 6 a.m. this morning, a buddy of mine showed a video of one when he was getting ready to go to work. More to come tonight.